I am Jill Glover. If you live in Senate District 12, which is Jane Nelson's Senate District, I am your State Republican Executive Committee woman. And my committee man is sitting right back there in the back, Dave Wiley. Dave, wave, thank you very much. If you don't know what an SREC is, we basically represent you to the State Republican Party, and it's our job to make sure we get good Republicans elected, but it's also our job to make sure once they get elected, to make sure they carry out our party principles and platform. And as you know, that can be a very difficult job at times. And I'll be honest with you, last session, we failed. We did not do well last session, and we are going to do things very differently this session. Each speaker that you're going to hear from tonight is going to talk about something related to our conservative principles of protecting children and families, limited government, personal responsibility, and preserving freedom. And I want to just say that even though we all have our niches, we all need to work together, because things that, or the principle that drives our Second Amendment rights are the same principles that drive protecting our family. It's about freedom, it's about our liberty, and it's about keeping our liberties here in America and certainly in Texas. So we all need to work together no matter what our pet project is, because there is so much more power in big voices, and we don't want to be all split off from each other. The delegates at State Convention this summer voted on 8 legislative priorities, and the one that came in third is one most of us would probably never have dreamed that we would need to have until just a couple of years ago, when you probably began hearing the story about little James Younger. Little boy is now 8 years old, but his mother, who is a pediatrician, thinks he should be a little girl, because when he was 3, he said he liked a doll. Big whoop. How many little boys have said that? But she now is planning on taking him to the Genesis Clinic, which is a clinic at Cook Children's Hospital. They have 2. They have one in Dallas, they have one in Houston. And at this hospital, they actually begin prepubescent children on puberty blockers in preparation of putting them on cross-sex hormones, which then sets them up to be candidates for surgery. So this is child abuse, cutting off perfectly good body parts. You wouldn't cut an arm off. Why would you cut off the genitals of a child? Just because, certainly if it's because a mother thinks something crazy, but even children can experience some dysphoria, but that is something in their brain, and that can be treated by counseling. So I am thrilled to have a friend of mine with me tonight to tell you a little bit about his perspective on this issue, and then I'm going to wrap it up with what you can do about it.
So my name is Kevin Whitt. I am the Texas Mass Resistance Assistant Director. And, sorry.
My fault.
Oh yeah, his fault. Blame it on him for me screaming out here. And I just want to first, before I start, read something to you guys. And it is the Communist Platform Agenda. They came out with this in 1953, and it got read into Congress in 1963. So it's been around a long time. And number 26 is present homosexuality, degeneracy, promiscuity as normal, natural, and healthy. Eliminate all laws governing obscenity. Break down cultural standards of morality. So you guys, this has been your agenda since a long time ago. And I am someone who has come victim of that agenda. I used to live my life as a transsexual woman, and I lived that way for 20 years. I had extreme gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is real. Gender dysphoria is a real mental disorder. It is not a biological disorder of your, so it's a mental disorder. And I did start taking hormones whenever I was in my early 20s. And I can tell you from my own experience and the friends that I knew in the trans lifestyle, hormones have lasting effects for the rest of your life. And it does not matter if you stop. There is no way to reverse the effects of hormones. These children, if they are given hormones, they will become infertile, number 1. So that's the first thing. Then they will begin developing breasts and hips. because you gain weight in the places that females would gain weight. And so all this is to make them present more feminine. And in the Genesis Clinic, which was started by Dr. Imena Lopez, and she started it in 2014, they began social transition at 5 years old. Then, whenever you are 8 years old, you begin going through cross-sex hormones. So you start taking puberty blockers that would block you from going through your natural puberty. And then when you get to the age of 15, you can have a sexual reassignment surgery, legally. Now, this is legal in the state of Texas. Why on earth is this legal in the state of Texas? Why hasn't it been stopped a long time? They've been in existence since 2014. But the problem is most people don't even know that they exist. I'm sure the citizens of Dallas would be outraged if they knew. So we have to bring awareness to the citizens. We have to get a bill authored in this next legislative session to stop this, to make this illegal, and to put these people out of business. They are exploiting children with mental disorders that, in fact, their parents are telling them that they have. So, thank you guys for listening, and yeah.
So, our third legislative priority is to get a bill passed to ban these practices of cross-sex hormones, puberty blockers, and gender transition surgery. 1,400 bills were passed last legislative session. Do you think we can get this bill passed? There is no reason in the world why we should not be able to get this bill passed. There is no reason why any of our legislators should give us any difficulty about this bill. But I'm going to tell you something, they will. The Texas Medical Association will fight us on this bill. The business lobby will fight us on the bill. The American Psychological Association will fight us on this bill. The American Association of School Psychologists will fight us on this bill. I'm a licensed counselor. I can tell you that 90% of children with this disorder resolve it by their early 20s. So no child should be getting these kinds of treatments. But these lobbies, these very powerful lobbies, have money. They get money from this kind of thing. So those kinds of, the other thing I will tell you is that most counselors and probably most doctors are not for this, but these associations are run by a very elite small group of people at the top who set the policy. So please, here's my ask for you, 2 things. Number 1, our lawmakers are beginning now to plan for the bills that they're going to get passed next session. They're talking behind closed doors. So I would ask you to call and email your state senator and your state representative and tell them, not ask, but please tell them you want a bill to ban gender transition surgery, cross-sex hormones, and puberty blockers in kids under 18. The other thing I want to tell you about is a pledge. We have a pledge that we call the Save James Pledge. We've got a website. It will be up and running in probably about a week that says SaveJamesPledge.com. You can also go to SaveJamesPledge.org because we've all both of those. We would like to ask you to please ask your lawmaker to sign this pledge. I've got some copies of it. I'm going to give it, Kevin's going to pass them out. If you would like to sign them, take it, have anybody that you know sign it, and please help us with this fight. We are upping our game. We have got to put pressure on these guys and women in our state capitol, and we are ready to go to battle. So hope you join us.
So just to clarify, you just want as many signatures as possible?
We want your signature, and we're going to put them all online, and we are going to keep a running tally online of the state senators and reps who will sign this pledge so that we can make that information public, so we can put public pressure. But we also want citizens to sign.
Pass this out to all of our church members.
Correct. That is correct. We would love pastors to sign it. I'm sure Colonel West will sign it too. So we'll ask him.
I'm going to pass this around, and it's asking for your name and phone number. We would like to keep in touch with you because we need as many people to go with us to Austin to testify against these bills. Well,
yes.
favor these bills.